of doing a change of manager without the person being here. I'm sure this is a fine person, but I would not be in favor of doing it. I would think that this gentleman or lady would have the interest to at least show up at this meeting. I would not be in favor of doing it without the person here. I could ask my tips question. So I would not be in favor of doing it.
Whose name is on the license, though?
The existing manager that's on file was
John
named with
Stone.
on the license.
I believe what's being proposed, though, is the new
manager.
manager.
I wouldn't, well,
So that being the case, they won't be able to operate until after January 5th when we meet again. I don't think that's, but again, I don't disagree that
Yeah,
the
that's-
gentleman should be here as a courtesy to the board in relation to our consideration of the change, but in light of the information that we have, the background check and other information, there's no other information that's been provided to us that would suggest that we should not approve the change in manager.
Could we amend the motion to,
Can
I
we
guess we can't make
require
it-
that they come to town hall and collect the license in person, the manager, and let Greg at least shake hands with the individual? It's kind of a compromise.
Provide proof or acknowledgement that he's been tip trained?
Or you can have them wait until, they probably have
We can close them
affairs
down.
going on over there.
Close them down New Year's
What,
Day.
what sort of communication has there been about them being present for this particular purpose, Mr. Balakonis? Hey.
I will look at the file, but typically what staff does is they'll endeavor to invite all of the managers into the meeting and stress the importance that being here is really critical to the board's decision. What we do is we keep copies of those communications, because we're never sure. Give me a second.
Concern I would have if we don't approve this is if there are functions between now and the first of the year at the Moose Hall, impact various people or organizations that,
Might have hired the
Right.
hall.
right?
Yeah.
If it's New Year's
Well, they would be
weekend
open
we're
till the
talking
first
about.
of the year.
We're
Oh, it's
talking
New
the
Year's
first-
weekend.
They're good through the 31st, but come midnight, the 1st,
Yeah.
they're out of business.
So,
And there is a weekend.
through
where
through no fault of those people that may have rented out that place for that particular weekend, I think if we approve it and have the new manager come down and show you proof of he's been tips trained, I don't have any
I would
problems
say-
going forward.
I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, that we approve it and then request the presence of the new manager at our next meeting, and if he fails to come, we'll have a show cause hearing as to why we shouldn't suspend the license. That's all. Let you get that.
Someone want to make a motion?
I don't know if we need a motion, other than just to suggest to the town administrator, that's what we'd like to have them here. If they don't come in at our next meeting to present themselves, then
Well, we
then
need
we
a-
can, make
Can
a
you-
motion at that
do
particular
we
point.
need to amend the
Can you-
motion?
Need a
to reflect
motion
that,
for
though?
the,
Can you conditionally approve it? Is it the same? Just semantics? I don't know.
No, we have a motion for the license.
need a
here.
motion for the license.
Well, I think we need to transfer, we have to approve the
We have to
manager
transfer it
first,
first.
Yeah.
because the manager's,
The new manager is on the
The
license.
new manager is on the license, right here. John Stone.
So,
Why don't we, since basically, if the individual was here, there's no doubt, at least in my mind, that based on what we've done in the past, we've approved it. Why don't we approve it and just have the town administrator hang on to it until that individual shows up in person to collect it?
We still would like to have him come in and present himself to the board. I
Then
think that would be
request that too.
I don't think we have to put that into the motion.
Me, no, I won't be voting on it. I'll be voting no, for the reasons I stated.
I'm not looking to put the moose out of business.
I'm not either, Steve,
I
but,
know.
you
And I
know,
understand your
people
point.
have their obligations too, and as I said earlier in the meeting.
So, do we have a motion? Just read the motion and then we can vote.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the change of manager for Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge, 140 North Street, from John Weiss to John Stone.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. Leary. Could you add,
We need an amended motion, or?
well, we're thinking, how can we handle the, or can we just ask the town administrator to hold on to it?
Well, They're gonna get it anyway, and yeah, I wouldn't give it to anybody other than the new manager.
Absolutely. It's gonna reflect it.
All right, the minutes are gonna reflect that, okay? You have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
Yes,
Mr.
if I
Vino?
may. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will be voting no because of my prior concerns, and I would like the records to show that the reason I'll be voting no is because the new manager was not present at the meeting to answer any questions that may have arisen.
Okay. This is require a roll call vote? No.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
4-1. Mr. Vino, old and new business? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, is that just the,
It was everything.
that's everything?
Yeah, the license has already been voted on. That was just a change of manager. Approve the license before we,
Yeah,
approve the change of manager.
okay.
Me?
Mr. Vino, yes?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unfortunately, I was out of town, but I understand it was a fantastic time, the tree lighting ceremony on the Common and the celebration. I heard all that were there, had a great time. I also want to wish everyone a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you call the holidays. I hope you enjoy them. And I think we should all count our blessings in North Reading, where we are geographically located. We missed a terrible ice storm by about 4 miles. As Mr. Valiakonis can back me up on this. We were very lucky, and to anyone who has relatives out there who were affected by this, I certainly hope everything is going. Probably couldn't have happened at the worst time of year, just before the holidays. A lot of damage done, hundreds, I think there's still thousands of people without power. So I would wish them all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Just simply like to wish everyone happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and hope everyone has a happy and safe New Year. See you in 2009.
Thank you. I too wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, and whatever other holiday you might be celebrating. I'd like to ask the town administrator to convey our best wishes to all the town employees in case at least I don't get to see each group over the next few days, and thank all of them for their hard work in making at least this first half of the fiscal year, a tough one, successful. And those wishes go to them and their families. And I would like to thank my fellow board members for their participation in what I consider to be a difficult time, and that we've managed to tackle the issues that are before us and prepared for resting up over the next couple of weeks is when we come back.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be any easier. And I'd like to welcome our new recording secretary. And with that, do we have an executive session?
No, sir.
Sir, I would like just a 2-minute executive session, so discussing collective bargaining.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so entertain a motion to adjourn to, can you put that together?
Mr. Chairman, I move to enter into executive session for the purposes of collective bargaining discussion, and further the Board of Selectmen will return to open session thereafter for the sole purpose of adjournment.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Mr. O'Leary?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mr. Vino?
Aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Don't mind me,
What am I missing
my head
again?
is like
Oh,
this.
he
The name thing again.
Oh,